Hello there, friends. It is Miles, joined by my dad, Bob. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Mars.
Hello. It's a game of no halves. This is the podcast where Bob, my dad, goes into the wonderful world of North London, his fictitious football team that he's invented, and we go through results and things every week alongside talking about the real world of actual football that's been happening outside of your own brain, Bob.
Yes. Well, no, but we're doing a season end review.
Well, that's right. So, yeah, officially the 23-24 season has come to an end.
Yeah.
Aside from the Champions League final, which hasn't yet been played, I suppose it's the last major thing to happen.
Well, I'm up against Real Madrid. So,
are you? Well,
yes.
we'll come to this.
Yeah.
So, what we thought we'd do today is do a bit of a season recap of kind of the real world as well, but also of North London to bring us into the real world, because obviously during the series we've been going through the sort of season results, season by season, starting in the early 2000s, and I think we're in about 2009, 2010 right now, aren't we? But we're jumping forward to bring things into the modern day.
Yes.
As the season's just finished. Obviously, outside of North London, Bob and I are Man United fans, and we are massively celebrating our FA Cup victory, Bob.
Miles, you were there.
I was there.
You were there. I wanted to be there.
It was the best thing ever.
So I'm not kidding now. Okay. Mars and I have just been to our local shop to buy some lottery tickets.
Yes.
Because you've turned out to be
I'm
a lucky charm.
I literally am, yeah.
25 matches Mars has been to now of various different kinds.
Yeah.
And he is yet to be on the losing side.
This is true. And not just United. It's obviously, if you've listened to the podcast before or know me through my other things, I am a photographer, shoot sports on film all the time. So I get hired by people to go to shoot games for them, clubs and things like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I've now shot for United specifically. I've shot 4 times.
Yes.
And we've not lost yet.
I know. And this included the Liverpool win.
Liverpool Coventry in the semi-final.
Yes.
A bit of a drab 1-1 at home to Burnley. But then Saturday in the F.A Cup final against City, who the hell saw that coming, eh?
Yeah. So I've stood by, as we bought the lottery tickets, I actually was standing there touching Miles because I thought, good luck.
Yes.
So
I mean, it's amazing actually. Of all the things I've shot, even when we did our podcast from LA, and I randomly just had a day off and shot for LAFC, and they just won 5-0 like, all this
against Nashville as well.
Yeah, I know. It's been great, but being at Wembley, it was just incredible. The only annoying thing about the whole experience was that all the goals went in at the opposite end to where I was sat.
Oh,
so I think I haven't yet got the photos back as of recording this podcast. So I'm hoping I got some decent stuff. I had the 600mm on, so fingers crossed. I got what I would really love, because when Cobby scored, first of all, what a performance!
This is your mate, Cobby Mainu.
My boy, my bro.
I mean, come on.
I texted him after the game.
Just texted him after the game.
He hasn't replied, funny enough, but I think he's probably been inundated with messages. But his goal, what a goal. Absolutely sensational
as a team
move.
goal, it was
I know.
fantastic.
The little no-look pass from Bruno to tee him up, and as it went in, I put a video on my Instagram with the FA Cup. Yesterday, possibly, or the day before. Maybe it was the day of the game, actually, because I film myself when I'm shooting, and I just went absolutely mad. It was just so brilliant. The atmosphere was amazing.
There's a little bit of film of that goal online, on Instagram, I think it is, with Martin Tyler commentating. And
he said Bruno Fernandes mishit it.
Miskicked it.
I know.
He did not.
Oh, no, it was 100% intentional. It was one of the most brilliant assists I've seen in a long time, because his awareness, I don't know whether you saw the BBC summary afterwards.
I did.
Alan Shearer was saying how often Bruno was scanning.
Yes.
And he just knew exactly where Cobby was going to be.
Yeah.
And so he gets to the ball. He didn't even need to look up. He just touched it on right into Cobby's pass. And the finish was great as well.
It was.
First time.
He still had a bit to do.
Yeah, but calm.
He just wrapped his... Oh, it was just
it was perfect. I even loved the celebration, the way he runs off, like nodding his head.
Yeah. And you have to say, Marcus Rashford, that cross-field ball,
so
that was a sense... That was Paul Scholes-like.
It was brilliant. Yeah. I think Gareth Southgate's made a massive mistake not including him in the England squad. As disappointing a season as it's been for him personally.
It's still the provisional squad.
No, he can't get in. That's it, because it's the training squad, and I
didn't know that. I thought
I think there's it's like 33 or 32 players in the training squad, and then they then remove 7 more from that to get the 27. I think.
Oh.
So he's out. He's not at the Euros. Which I think is
now you see. And what about Ten Hag?
Well, I've always stuck alongside Ten Hag and said I think we need stability. I think he's been unlucky. I think it's no coincidence that for that game we had a pretty full strength squad out, particularly Varane and Martinez at central defence.
Yeah,
and it just we looked transformed.
And
Amrabat in midfield was brilliant.
Suddenly, really looks like a United player.
It's funny with him. I think he's actually been a bit misused for us this season because the starting midfield two in defensive mid has been Casemiro and Mainu for most of the season, hasn't it? And Amrabat has been thrown about, like he's played left back a few times.
Yeah.
He's never really had a run of games where he started in the team, I don't think.
Yeah.
And anyway, he showed exactly what we hoped he would show at Wembley on Saturday. It was just a brilliant team performance.
It was.
Everybody was great. I mean, even Højlund coming off the bench and holding the ball up brilliantly.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved
Where
it.
was that performance earlier in the season?
I know, but I listen to TalkSport quite a lot when I'm driving to and from games to get reactions of stuff like that.
See, Mars is a TalkSport guy. I'm a Five Live guy.
I think 5 Live is still
John Murray.
Oh no, like as a commentary thing, I think it's brilliant. I only care about sports really. So during the day when they're talking more about politics and stuff, I turn. Anyway, there's a phone in after the FA Cup, and they were sort of putting United and Arsenal fans against each other and saying, well, so who's had the better season then? Arsenal are trophyless, but they finished second. United finished 8th, but we've got the FA Cup, and now in a roundabout way have qualified for the Europa League.
Yes.
Who has had the better season, Bob?
Wow, that's
because like to all other circumstances, Arsenal have been the better team than us this year. But you don't get anything for finishing second.
No,
they haven't won a trophy otherwise.
No,
and so now with United, the FA Cup, I suppose in English terms, is the third biggest trophy you can win, isn't it? Behind the Champions League and the Premier League, I would say, as an English team.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, you would say Arsenal, wouldn't you? Because they've been playing such beautiful football.
Yeah, they have. I know. It's just I just thought it was an interesting debate. I'm not really sure myself, to be honest, because yes, I suppose Arsenal have had the better season if you're summing up that way. But
but they have got Champions League next year, so it's not been
a terrible disaster for them. But
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the other person I want to give a massive shout out to on 5 Live, Mark Chapman. I mean, Mark Chapman. He makes the very difficult look ridiculously easy.
Yeah.
And you always know a good whoever it is, by they make difficult stuff look ridiculously easy. And Mark Chapman does that.
Yeah, he's very
The
good.
Monday Night Club is one of my favorite programs of any type on any radio station anywhere when Mark Chapman is doing it, because he just, I don't know, he's just
he's
so
great. Does he still do Match of the Day too?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every now and again I text him or send him a tweet or something.
Yeah.
And I'm a big appreciator of his talent and his he's absolutely brilliant. He really is. And what a sad thing, Ian Wright finishing on
I know
Match of the Day. It was quite emotional, wasn't it?
He's a legend, right?
He's lovely. What a lovely guy.
Hey, you and him share something in common.
Do we?
Yes.
Go on.
He also has 8 children.
That was very random.
I know. Me and Catherine, my wife, were listening to him on a podcast the other day, and he said he had 8 kids. And I was like, oh, well, so
right.
There you go. So you and Ian Wright cut from the same cloth in some ways.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we emulate each other. Yes.
Yeah. So we're bringing North London back to the modern day.
Well, yes, because we haven't really spoken that much, have we, Miles, about what's been happening this season?
I suppose not. No. So where we are,
and the beginning of the season was actually a very, very important moment for the development of the squad.
So, I mean, I guess we haven't really summarised this season at all. So.
No, just to explain, because I know we do have.
Well, it was funny. So I went to my friend Jack's. He's known as Jackmate online. His live podcast show at Shepherd's Bush on Friday.
Yes,
and I was talking to him about this, and he found it the most fascinating subject ever. So in your own words, Bob, why don't you try to explain roughly what North London is again, just for anybody who might be joining us?
So North London is a team that sort of evolved from when I was a child, really. I went kicking a football around, and I sort of imagined myself as being Bobby Charlton and all of that. It began to really come together, this idea that I was playing actual matches in the 80s when I was down in Italy, and I was playing inside a tennis court so I could kick the ball. It was in the 82 World Cup. And I imagined a club side with Platini and Tigana and all these great players in it. So that's how it sort of started. But it really kicked in when here on the lawn, because I've been here now for 30 years. There was a match taking place, with lots of friends and people around. And I just visualized it as North London, which is the team that I'd invented. That was it. Because, I used to live in North London in West Hampstead. And just down from me, there was a sports club. And I imagined that to be the training ground. Then there was a big development that took place in Swiss Cottage, which I imagined to be our big stadium, the Leamington Stadium.
Yep.
And so that had lodged in my head. We used to play a couple of games on Hampstead Heath. But then when we moved down here and I got the lawn, there was a match between, well, just loads of us playing. And in my head, it was Man United against North London. And the final score was 8-7. And it's known as the greatest Premier League match in Premier League history. Well, 8-7.
There you go.
And that was it. I thought, I'm loving this so much. So I created a squad. I started buying players.
Yeah.
We started bringing players through from the academy. So young friends of Mars's. Mars was
unbeknownst to them.
Unbeknownst to them.
Yeah. Well, as they do now, of course.
Mars was in goal.
Yep.
Mars's brother Dylan was the left winger.
Yeah.
Mars's older brother Ben was the holding midfield player.
Yeah.
And older brother Jamie was the right back.
Yeah.
But then you feed into that mix the transfers that came in. Zidane. Figo.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you're literally playing a game of FIFA or Football Manager, but just with a real phone football in real life, aren't you?
Yes. But last year wasn't a particularly great season for us.
Okay.
So we had to massively sort of upgrade and think about just regenerating the squad this year. So
this is now coming into the start of 23-24. I've retired now, haven't I?
Mars has retired. Mark Barnard, who'd succeeded Miles in goal, who's a friend of ours, Mark, but not that we've seen him for years. But
no, but he did used to stand in goal when we kicked the ball around in the garden sometimes, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So he'd been my goalie after Miles retired, but now Mark Barnard has retired. So, as luck would have it, last summer, David De Gea let go by Man United.
Of course, what a perfect signing.
So I thought, free.
Yeah.
Get him in.
Ideal,
get him in.
Ideal.
So gave him the number 1 shirt immediately. And David De Gea has been my goalie throughout the season.
I love that. I can't believe he's still not got a club in real life. It's crazy.
Because the other thing about, I can't sign a player that's already playing for another Premier League team.
Yeah. Okay.
So also,
as soon as he was released, he was all right to go.
Yes, he was. Yeah. But also, things like, I had Haaland in my squad.
Yeah.
But of course, when Man City bought him, I had to sell him.
Yeah.
But I bought him right at the beginning of his career for virtually nothing. And I was able to sell him
made a humongous
to
profit.
Man City for shed loads of money. Yeah. So anyway, but so the lineup.
So you got De
Gea in goal.
Yeah.
Matt Astor.
Yeah.
At right back.
I literally played football with Matt last week.
There we are.
He is the younger brother of my friend Simon, who's also been in the team.
Yes.
Right. And Matt still lives nearby, and we do still play 5-a-side together sometimes.
Yeah.
So he's in. What position does he play?
Right back.
Yep.
So the back four.
Okay.
Matt Astor, then Matthias de Ligt.
Oh yeah, de Ligt. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Marquinhos.
Okay.
Yeah. The number 6, basically.
Yeah.
Tall, strong, forceful.
Okay.
And then my left back, who came into the squad at the beginning of the season, Nuno Mendes.
I think he also plays for PSG.
Attacking
As well
player
as
he is.
Marquinhos.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
The 2 holding midfield players.
Yeah.
Well, I did have Jude Bellingham as my number 10, but then my actual number 10, who's been number 10 for the last 2 or 3 years, is, well, now this was Dan Olsen.
Yeah.
Dan Olsen came to do a session for us.
Yeah, he's a singer from the Faroe Islands, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's played Champions League football.
Well, yeah, Champions League qualifying, I guess.
Yeah, well, that counts.
It counts, yeah. It's more than I've done.
Yeah. He's my number 18, but he's the number 10. So he and Jude Bellingham, this was a little bit of there was a little moment in mid-season where the 2 of them.
Did they have a war of words?
It was just getting them to play. It was a bit like Lampard and Gerrard. Are you going to get them playing together in the same team? Anyway, I sorted it out by bringing Jude Bellingham deeper. So he sits in front of the back 4, but attacks from there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with D'Emilio Cataldi.
Who is a real life player, but he's a sort of a lot better in your world than he is in real life, right?
Yeah. I think he's fantastic in my world.
Danilo Cataldi.
Yes.
So I wonder who he is actually. 29 from Italy, plays for Lazio. So he's at a decent level.
No, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
So so you've got 4-2-3-1. 3-1, the three. So Dan Olsen is my number 10. On the right of him, Kylian Mbappe.
Oh, okay. On the right.
To the left of him, Jamal Musiala.
Okay, yeah.
Who's been sensational this season.
Yeah, he's great.
And then number 9, Osimhen, who has not quite.
Yeah, I think the whole Napoli team have kind of fallen off this year because I think they finished 7th or something after winning the league last year, didn't they?
Yes. And we've got a couple of really promising youngsters coming in. Alex Hanaby, 18-year-old, holding midfield player.
Alex Hanaby, who is the producer of this podcast, by the way.
Yeah. She said, I'm not in the team. So I said, right, we'll get you in the team. So Alex Hanaby, young lad that's come through the through the ranks.
Hanaby.
Yeah, Hanaby.
Osimhen in real life, by the way, he's actually had a better season than I thought he did. He scored 21 goals this year in real life.
Yeah, but not so much for me.
Sorry, no, I take that back. 19 goals.
Yeah, but not so much for me. But one or two of the other players in my squad, Sheik.
Patrick Schick. I saw him live the other day playing for Bayer Leverkusen.
He's good, isn't he?
By the way, I was on a bit of a scouting mission because I don't know whether you need this, by the way. But I think Jeremy Frimpong for Bayer Leverkusen is brilliant. Right-sided player. He kind of plays as he's a right back, but he's not. He's a winger really, or a wing back, but really quick and skillful and just very, very dangerous. Frimpong, if you're looking for a right-sided player.
Well, you see, awesome. I sort of am. Mbappe is going to Real Madrid.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and he's not been happy this last 3 or 4 months.
He does seem quite tough to keep happy.
Yeah, in and out of the team. Yeah. So I've got this wonderful player, Aifa Rahmani, who I saw playing football on the green, down on the village green, and signed immediately. Quick, skillful. So he is going to, he sits in for Mbappe anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because Osimhen hasn't been playing as well as I would like.
Rid of him?
Well, I've been playing Mbappe
through the middle,
through the middle, and Osimhen coming off the bench.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
It's been working. Here's the people who left.
Okay, so this is at the start of the season then.
Erling Haaland for 186 million.
There's all this talk, isn't there, from City about how Haaland only cost them 50-something million. There's been some figures manipulated there, definitely. Go on.
Sandro Tonali.
Yeah. Still suspended because of a betting scandal, right?
Yes, he is, I'm afraid. Carlos Casemiro.
Yeah.
Went to United for 70 million.
Yeah.
Upamecano.
Yep.
71 million.
Oh my God.
Toussaint, 11 million. Yeah. And David Alaba for 37 million.
That's a big transfer window then.
So that gave me a total budget to work with of 730 million.
So it seems like you're fiddling the finances. FFP are going to be coming after you soon, Bob.
No, look, because so here's my outlay. Okay. Jude Bellingham, 111 million. Yeah. Musiala, 105 million. Yeah. Nuno Mendes, 71 million. Yeah. Marquinhos, 82 million.
Jesus Christ.
And Osimhen, 105. Okay.
So that's the biggest transfer window in history, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But look what I've got. My total budget balance.
Right. 255. So you've spent the best part of £500 million in the transfer window.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
So, but what a team I've got now.
Yeah.
And they went the first 10 matches, 10 consecutive wins at the beginning of the season.
Wow.
Which set us up brilliantly for
the rest of the year.
Attack on the...
I like this. So what Bob does basically with the results is he goes onto his computer and he types everything out, including the formations, including the goal scorers, including some little bullet point notes about the games.
Yeah.
I like this though, Bob, because you started introducing some colour coordination to it. Are these injuries in red?
No, these are the red.
Yeah. So some of the names are highlighted in red in the
these
lineups.
represent their first match.
Amazing
for the team.
Okay, I see. So you see, Bellingham and De Gea are both starting.
Yeah, they're both starting.
Oh, and but also highlighted his first goal.
Highlight their first goal. Yeah, yes. So
the detail is unbelievable.
That's the opening, and it was lovely because look, press conference. Unveiling major signings
in bold in between the Burnley and Chelsea games in the league. Yeah. it reads like a literal Football Manager news sort of section.
It does. And look already, us and City 100% record after 3 games.
Wow.
But then you go a little bit deeper into the season and look at the gap. We're just beginning to open up.
Well, because nobody particularly had
No.
a really, really consistent first half of the season.
They
did
didn't. But look at us here.
Yeah.
After 12 games, we're 4 points clear of Man City. And we open up. Do you remember the way that Man City stumbled in mid-season? That's when we opened up the gap that then we had to make sure we held on to.
Well,
yeah.
And you did.
So,
by the looks of it. Well, I suppose we'll find out.
Explain later how it all
All right.
happened. Yeah.
So we're doing this thing every week now where we do a Premier League goal scoring quiz. You guys can play along at home.
Yep.
Where we choose several players who've played in the Premier League at some point in their lives, and we have to guess how many goals exactly they scored in the Premier League.
Oh my goodness, I've been hopeless at this.
It's been a bit of a whitewash on my side so far, but there's time to come back. So the way it works is one of us will pick a player, and then we'll guess. If you get bang on the money, you get 3 points, and if you're the closest, you get 1 point.
Okay.
So go on, Bob. You just do you want to?
I haven't really thought. Hang on a second. I was going to say Dean Owens, but of course he doesn't.
No, he's not a real player either.
Yeah. Shall we have a modern day player?
Yeah, go for it.
How about the wonderful number 8 in the Arsenal team at the moment, the captain?
Odegaard. I think we've had him before.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Have we had Saka?
Saka? No, I don't think so.
Let's go for Saka then, shall we?
All right, that's an interesting one. So you chose a player, so I get to guess.
Yeah.
Saka. Oh, that's difficult, isn't it? Because he has scored consistently. I wonder if he's got to 50 yet, is my question. Saka Premier League goals.
Oh, you see, Mars is now worried about protecting his unbeaten run.
I have. Hey, there's another unbeaten run I've got going.
Yeah.
These lottery tickets are looking like a better investment all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to
We'll
go.
let you know next week, by the way, if we won. Well, no, actually, we won't.
We'll be in
because we
Barbados.
won't be here.
I'm going to go 40 for Saka Premier League goals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Bukayo Saka on the official Premier League website has scored 47. That's 1-0 to me, ladies and gentlemen. I was right.
I'm afraid this is the way that this particular quiz has been going.
I was right about thinking whether he was going to get to 50 or not yet, though.
Yeah,
47.
Yeah, you were.
There you go. All right.
Normally, if I go lower than Miles.
Yeah, you don't often go lower than me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we are. Okay.
Let us know what you got at home. Do you think Saka had scored that many goals in the Premier League? Let us know in the comments. He's actually, improving season on season in terms of goal scoring. He started off with 1, and then 5, and then 11, and then 14, and then 16 this year. So he's on course for a 20-goal season next year if he carries at that rate.
Okay.
Which is very good. There was another thing I started to introduce, Bob, as well, which I've bookmarked on TikTok, which was remember the football pointless.
Oh yes,
that we were going on with,
yeah,
which is quite fun as well. So maybe we'll have to whack that out at some point later in the show too.
Right.
Just thinking in terms of your season then, Bob, because we haven't seen what the history's been up until 23-24. I'm assuming you're in the Champions League.
Yes.
And I'm assuming.
In fact, I'm playing Real Madrid in the final next weekend.
So that hasn't happened yet.
No.
Okay.
It hasn't. We have, however.
We can reveal that on next week's episode.
Just lost the FA Cup final to Man United 2-1. And you were there.
Of course I was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, would I have been shooting for North London or for Man United in that case, though?
Well, that's true.
In this fictitious world.
Actually, if that were the case, you would have broken your run.
Well, it's not real life, so I'm not claiming that. Yeah. My run is about to be severely tested this coming week, Bob. I've been talking to you about this, but I've got the most mad week of travel. I think it's probably my entire life. I've not traveled this much. Tomorrow morning, I get on a train to Breda in the Netherlands.
Right.
Where I am shooting a Dutch Cup final.
Okay. Who's it between?
It's between NAC Breda.
Right.
And hang on.
What is that? Their sort of equivalent to the FA Cup final?
Yeah. I think it's the second division. So it's kind of an interesting.
Oh.
Hold on.
So does the second division have its own cup?
Well, by all accounts, it
it's
seems
like the FA Vars or something,
Yeah, possibly. So it's called the. Oh God, I'm going to absolutely butcher this pronunciation. The Keuken Campion Divisi. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to see if I can translate this page. Anyway. It's the final.
Okay.
this coming week. And
Whoa.
what's interesting is it's 2 legs. So I'm shooting the first leg of the final.
Okay.
So it's between NAC Breda and Excelsior.
Okay.
And so the first leg takes place Tuesday night. They get the train to Breda tomorrow. And then the following day, I need to be in Paris because I'm shooting Roland Garros, the French Open in the tennis. So I'm getting an overnight bus from Breda to Paris, of which there is one apparently.
Okay.
Which gets me into Paris at about 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Shoot Roland Garros that day. Try and sleep for about 15 hours in my Airbnb, and then shoot Roland Garros again the following day.
Right.
And then after that evening, I fly to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia because I'm off there to shoot the Kings Cup final, which is Cristiano Ronaldo's team, Al Nassr, versus Al Hilal, I think, in the that is their equivalent of the FA Cup in Saudi.
Yes.
And that is taking place on Friday evening. So I'm shooting that.
At which point we'll know that we've won the lottery.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll be flying out to join Miles.
Yeah,
for
and we'll fly back on our private jet together from Saudi Arabia. And then I fly back. I've got 1 day at home on the Saturday. I get back Saturday morning. And then the Sunday, which is also my birthday, I am shooting the T20 Vitality Blast at the Oval all day.
The Oval. Oh.
So I have
and I can't be with Miles to that, which I really, really want to be. But I'm in... I can't even...
where are you?
Do you know, we're number 70-something on the tour now. Yeah. And it's finally kind of... We're taking a big summer break.
Yeah.
I must be honest. I think it's due. So next Saturday, the songs the Beatles gave away, that's the tour I'm doing.
Yep.
And my friend Colin Hall. The Swaledale Festival.
Swaledale?
Yeah. And we're doing a sort of matinee and the matinee is at 10 o'clock in the morning, Miles. We've got to be there at the venue at 8:30.
God forbid. Where is it?
Swaledale. It's Reeth in North Yorkshire.
Oh, right. So I suppose you're staying over the night before then.
Well, yeah, we're going up there early. And then the following day, we're at the Queen's Hall Arts Centre in Hexham, Northumberland. Wow. And then we've treated ourselves on the Saturday night to a really lovely hotel so that we can chill, have supper, and then I drive back, and then that is kind of it for a little while for the tour, which is good.
And then we'll reconvene on Monday and see how we're both feeling.
Yes.
My God.
Oh, you really have to tune in next Monday to see what kind of state we are both in.
I know. Bloody hell, I've got so much going on.
Yeah.
but very fun. It is going to be as well.
Right.
So let's continue with 23-24 for North London.
Okay. So
give us an idea of how the season goes from.
Well, we remained unbeaten in the Premier League right through until I think it was the 27th match.
Okay. Wow.
But basically, here's our run-in.
Yeah.
We were a point ahead of City.
Yeah.
And we had to win our last 5 games to make absolutely sure that we were able to beat them. Because when we played them at their place, amazingly enough, and it was such a surprise, but it was a 0-0 draw.
That's a bit like when Arsenal went to play them, wasn't it?
Yeah, the two teams cancelled each other out.
Yeah.
But then here's our run-in. Okay, Brentford at home, Wolves away.
Also winnable.
Yeah. Everton at home.
Yeah.
West Ham away.
Okay.
Fulham home.
Oh, I mean...
We had to win those 5 games.
You've been dealt a fairly easy draw, I suppose.
Not bad, is it?
No, it's okay.
We did. We won them all. Yeah.
So you're champions?
So we're champions by a point.
A single point.
We just beat City and held them off. We just kept winning.
Wow.
And they kept winning. It got more and more exciting.
Yeah.
We had to beat Fulham. And we did. Actually, we finished the season with the flourish. It was a lovely 3-0 victory.
Very good.
Yeah. Dan Olsen got a couple of the goals. Yeah. It was a really good performance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So
there we are.
Bringing it up to the modern day with North London.
Yeah. So we found our way also through to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
And we were on for the treble, but then United beat us in the FA Cup final.
So on next week's podcast, we'll find out whether you have won the Champions League, I suppose.
We will.
That'll be the moment.
That's going to be amazing.
Blimey. Well,
I've got the great thing is, though, Miles, one of the things the huge advantage, I have no injuries in the squad.
Yeah.
None at all.
Well, that's what we're saying about
United
having such a good performance against City was in no small part down to the fact that we actually had a decent squad available.
Yeah, Martinez. I think he's been the absolute key, not having him through the season.
He's great. You could just see his presence and his kind of mentality just bleeds into everybody else, isn't it?
Freddie Haynes is still in the squad, by the way.
Good. How old is Freddie Haynes in the current day?
Oh, good old Freddie Haynes. He's just so great, Freddie Haynes.
Yeah.
And look, here's the overall scorers now, Miles.
Yeah, okay.
From right at the beginning. This goes back to 1996.
Yeah.
Here we are, look.
Good Lord. Look at that.
Yeah. So, Wes Dexter, still top.
number one. Yep.
161 goals in total.
Not bad.
Sam Toklov.
Sam Toklov, so all these names aren't familiar to you listening because they are not real footballers. They're all people that have come through the academy, aren't they, Bob? In fact, you have to go all the way down to the fifth to find the first real footballer, which is Mbappe. And look how many goals Erling Haaland got in 3 seasons. 134 goals. Well, actually, it was in 4 seasons. This was So look, Freddie Haynes. Yep.
See, I'm a big believer in trying to create situations where you're attacking a team from an unexpected angle or in an unexpected way.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ways of North London attacking the opposition is to bring somebody in right from defence who cuts through the opposition defence and is able to shoot from distance, come in at different angles. And this was it. Freddie Haynes is and was our attacking centre-back.
Yeah.
There aren't many attacking centre. But look now,
that leads to the fact that he scored 154 goals through his career.
105 of them in the Premier League, 27 in Europe, 17 in Cups, and 6 in the World Club Championship.
Unbelievable.
But he's 37 now, so he's lost the pace.
Yeah. So is he's in there as a wise head?
Yeah, he's a bit of a Thiago Silva now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
if we're speaking of goal-scoring defenders, then Bob.
Yeah.
Let's think of how many goals a defender's scored in the Premier League.
All right then. Shall we? Are you going to choose?
Yeah, I'm going to choose vastly underrated player, which we've actually featured. So every Friday on our Instagram, if you're not following us, by the way, please do at A Game of No Halves. We do a Friday poll, which we share. We do. And one of the more recent ones was who's the most underrated defender in Premier League history.
Yes.
And I think this man has a big shout of being just that.
Okay.
Dennis Irwin.
Dennis Irwin.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So, how many goals do you think Dennis Irwin scored?
Wow. Because he got a lot of free kicks. Penalty taker too. I don't want to go big again because I don't know. I'm so hopeless at this.
Yeah.
44.
Okay. I think I might go more than you again on this.
Right.
And I think just purely because if you think of the amount of time he played, he must have been around for a long time. Penalty taker, free kick taker. I think he could have got in the 60s, I'm going to say 62.
Okay.
What did you say?
44.
44 to 62. Dennis Irwin.
Yes.
In the Premier League.
Yes.
That can't be right.
What?
18.
Well, so I win that then.
You do. I can't believe he scored that for you.
Same.
What the hell?
18.
Wow, I went way too high. He didn't score more than 5 in a season. Well, I also forgot. Do you remember he played for Wolves for that one season?
Oh yes, he did, didn't he? Right at the end of his career.
Wow.
Oh, bless him, Dennis Irwin. He was one of the great.
Oh, brilliant player.
And again, you're quite right. Very underrated, but brilliant player.
I can't believe he scored 18 goals.
That's not good, is it?
Was he ever in the North London team, Bob?
No, he wasn't. Well, because he played for United, so I couldn't be. Shall I just take you through the top 10 of the scorers then? Because there's a 3-way tie at number 10.
Wow.
102 goals each.
Yeah.
Diego Tristan.
Yes.
Paul Pogba.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot then.
And Aubameyang.
Okay.
Who I got as a youngster before he became disruptive in the dressing room.
Yeah, I know.
And I transferred him to Arsenal, who then transferred him away from them. So Tristan, Pogba, Aubameyang tied at number 10 with 102 goals each.
How many goals do you think Pogba scored in the Premier League?
65.
Oh, no. For North London, is that?
Yeah.
How many do you think he scored for United in the Premier League?
Ah, that's a good one too, isn't it?
That could be our next.
Yes.
Our next player.
I'm going to go I'm going to go 37.
37? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad shout, actually. I might go low on you on this one. I'm going to go 27.
Okay,
I'm going to go 10 lower than you, okay?
Let's see.
So
if I can take the lead on this will be the first time ever.
29.
Oh, I was close.
So I said 27 and you said 37. So
oh, wasn't it the other way round? Oh, wasn't it? I thought I said 27. You said 37.
No, unfortunately, unfortunately, that's a point for me. So that makes it 2-1.
2-1.
Well,
okay.
We'll come back to that. He scored 13 one season.
Yes, he did.
2018-19.
Yeah.
What could have been?
Well, I mean, 65.
Well, he did right for you.
Yeah, he did. 65 in the Premier League, 19 in Europe.
Yeah.
14 in the Cups,
Yep.
4 in the World Club Championship, total of 102 goals. So
wow.
Tristan Pogba, Aubameyang tie for number 10. Yeah. Number 9, Ian Giggs.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs is make-believe twin brother, for ananybody wondering who that might be.
Number 8, Karim Benzema.
Wow.
And you see, I was able to play Benzema for season after season because he was over there in Real Madrid. So he wasn't in
I'll be in the land of his team now.
Yes.
In fact, which team does he play for now?
That's a good question.
Al Ittihad or something?
While you're looking that up,
Yeah.
Kaká, number 7, with 120 goals. Erling Haaland, number 6, with 134 goals.
Yeah.
And then the top 5, Mbappe, 136, Dylan.
My younger brother Dylan.
145.
Wow.
Freddie Haynes, 154.
Yeah.
Sam Toklov, 156. And the top goal scorer for North London overall since 1996, Wes Dexter, with 161 goals.
There you are. How about it?
Yeah.
Good old Wes Dexter. Yeah. Benzema does play for Al Ittihad now, so I'm not going to be seeing him in Saudi. The Al Nassr team is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's full of...
Who else is in that team?
Well, Sadio Mane definitely plays for them, I'm sure.
He?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Talisca, a good Brazilian player. Emerick Laporte, who came from City. David Ospina used to play for Arsenal in goal.
Right.
I mean, they've obviously got a lot of Saudi Arabians.
It was interesting,
Brozovic
wasn't it?
As well.
When we went to see Los Angeles, because they had...
Hugo Lloris was in goal for them, wasn't
Hugo Lloris in goal.
And you know who's just joined them?
Go on.
Olivier Giroud from AC Milan's going
Has
to LA.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's off there.
They had just about the best football kit ever.
It's very, very stylish team, aren't they?
Very stylish
in
team.
LA. Yeah.
Yes, and who was there? Lovely from the Nashville TV series.
Connie Britton was there.
Connie Britton was there. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good fun.
And it was so funny afterwards because we went there. But now this would never happen in the Premier League, right? The stadium has a party area on the roof.
It's kind of a rooftop bar, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, with the pool and everything else. And so Mars's wife, Catherine, and I were in the stands while Mars was shooting the match.
Yep.
So at the end, Catherine and I made our way round the stands and joined everybody. I went over to see Connie Britton. Mars was in the kind of VIP area, and Catherine and I weren't absolutely certain that we were going to be able to gain entry. But then I saw Connie Britton, and she was kind of the laminate that kind of got us in there. So then we went into a sort of inner bar before we went upstairs for the party. And Miles, I was watching the owner of the football team, LAFC.
You've got the hat on.
I've got the hat on. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I love this hat too. I wear this all the time.
Yeah,
it's a very cool hat. Yeah. So, Mars was talking to the people all over Mars. I mean, I'm really not kidding. All over Mars. So Mars says, let me just introduce you to my father. And it's, this is Bob. And they go, hi, Bob. And Mars, what we were saying, and I'm standing there like this, watching everything. It was just so brilliant to see you have such a great time and be embraced.
Oh, it was fun.
By the top. Well, they're not the top football team in LA, are they?
Well, you got Galaxy.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know actually where they are in the league compared to each
just
other.
have a look.
I'm going to have a look. Yeah, because obviously it's a big rivalry. I mean, LAFC are a much newer team. They're only 6 or 7 years old, I suppose.
That was so funny, wasn't it? That they were playing playing Nashville and hammered them 5-0.
5-0, I know. It was a good performance from them. Let's have a look here then. Oh, they are third and fourth. 1 point separate them this season. How about that?
Wow, that's good. So LAFC are third.
No,
Galaxy
other way around. Galaxy are third
Okay.
and LAFC are fourth. Yeah, but they've got...
And what are the records?
So let's have a look. So they've... Oh, actually, so LA have played a game more. So Galaxy have played a game more. So LAFC do have a game in hand. So if they win that, they'll go 2 points clear of them.
Wow.
So Galaxy have played 15, won 6, drawn 2, lost 7. LAFC played 14, won 7, drawn 4, lost 3.
And where are Nashville?
Nashville are in the other conference, the Eastern Conference. And
so how come they played each
11th.
other then that night?
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure how
Was
that
it a
MLS
cup match
games-
of some description?
I don't know. So let's have a look. So Cincinnati are playing Nashville next, and they're both in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, okay.
So,
where are Nashville then?
Nashville are 11th, so not having a great season. 11th out of 15. So they're not. 15's a weird number of teams having the league, isn't it?
It is.
And 14.
MLS
in the
though
Western
is
Conference.
good. Do you know? I remember being in New York in '78 when Pele was playing for the New York Cosmos,
right? Yeah.
And I went to see them.
Do they still exist?
No, because I think they might do. I don't really know. My knowledge of
I'm not
MLS
sure they do.
is
They've got
not
New
that-
York City and they've got New York Red Bulls, haven't they? But
yeah.
No, not in there.
No, but they were, I mean, it was that time when just briefly soccer looked like it was going to take off and then it didn't. And now it has. But everybody was sort of buying players in. George Best played for, was it Miami? for a
Georgie
little
Best. I can't remember now.
and way past his best at that point. But nevertheless, for Miami, do you remember that goal that he scored where he beat about 5 different players?
Oh, he's just.
Have you seen it, Miles? You wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah. What, for United or in the MLS?
No, in the
maybe
MLS for Miami.
Well, I'm just having a look.
He got the ball on the edge of the penalty area and shimmied his way through, scored this incredible goal, right? Celebrated like celebrations have gone out of fashion.
Yeah.
I think he went off the pitch at the end of the game and disappeared for three weeks. He just went on this massive bender.
There's that quote of his in there. I won't be able to get it word for word, but it's like, I spent all my money on, women, drugs and alcohol, and the rest I wasted.
Yes. Yeah. And there's that moment where he was staying at one of the real top hotels in Manchester, I think it was. And he'd got girls in the room. He was in bed with Miss World. And there was paraphernalia all round them all. It had obviously been a major party thing. And he called down for some room service. And the guy knocks on the door and he said, "Come in." And he goes in with all the stuff on room service and stopped, aghast, looked around the room. And he looked at George Best and said, "Where did it all go wrong?" There he is in bed with Miss World. And
I know. I doubt he was thinking that, was he? George Best. No.
Where did it all go wrong?
Yeah. It's interesting, actually. He played for a lot of teams after United. I didn't realise.
He did, yeah.
So after United,
Fulham.
So Dunstable, Stockport, Cork, Celtic, the Los Angeles Aztecs.
Okay.
Who I don't think exists anymore. Fulham, Los Angeles Aztecs again, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Hibernian, San Jose Earthquakes, Bournemouth, Brisbane Lions, and Tobermoor United.
So I wonder who got that name.
Yeah, it might have been.
I think Dunstable, he played one match for
It says 0 here, to be fair. He played one match for Tobermoor FC in 1984.
It's so funny, isn't it? So it must have been Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale Strikers, or the Los Angeles Aztecs, or the San Jose Earthquakes.
Well,
could have been one of them.
Just have a quick look, see if you can find George Best MLS goal of the season or worst side effects. Look at this.
They just can't get anywhere near him, can they? Look
at that. I mean,
the cheerleaders behind the goal.
Yes.
Look at that.
And there he goes off celebrating.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't seen again for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? But what
Hilarious.
a phenomenal goal.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So even though he was just wasn't fit, could hardly run anymore,
right,
he could still score a goal like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it sensational?
Incredible. One of the most naturally gifted players of all time, really.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely incredible. Nice one. Well, so
have we got one more?
Premier League goals quiz, then, boss. It's 2-1 to me, isn't it?
Yes, so we've got one more.
We always play first to 3. So
we do.
We've got a decider to go with here, and you can choose the player. Any player.
Marcus Rashford.
Rashford. Yeah. Okay. Rashford.
We don't research this, by the way.
No. There's no cheating.
It just comes.
I
No,
promise.
there's no cheating. Yeah.
I don't know whether they were saying this off camera, but I feel very disappointed that Rashford's not in the England squad. I know he's not had the best of seasons, to his standards, but I still think he offers something that not everybody else.
What cross-field pass
in the FA Cup final, I know.
to Garnacho.
What Gareth Southgate has done is he's basically picked Anthony Gordon over Marcus Rashford, I think. Because they are similar-ish, I suppose, pacey, penetrative. I would still have taken Rashford. And I think Marcus Rashford has scored a fair amount of Premier League goals. I'm going to say he scored 75. I'm going to go 75 on the nose.
Okay, I'm going to go 63.
Going lower than me again. All right, Marcus Rashford.
Okay.
Premier League goals.
Ta-da.
He scored 83. So that means victory is mine.
Again. How many weeks have you been doing this now? I am yet to win any of these competitions. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
That's
82. 83 goals and 39 assists. Amazing.
On that bombshell. So next week.
Yes. We'll find out the result of the Champions League
whether
final.
I've beaten Real Madrid
going on here.
in the Champions League
final. We'll go into that in
final.
detail. What we'll do for next week is we'll save that sort towards the end of the episode, and we'll rejoin our North London history back where we left it off the episode
week after.
Previous to this.
Yes.
Very excited for that. Also excited to find out what happens on our various travels.
Yes.
Whether I survive my
just one
4
final
countries
thing.
in 4 days.
Bearing in mind, this is how the squad looks now.
Yep.
With it's a really Frankie De Jong I've still got in my squad. Lee Bedwell, Guerrero, Schick.
Yeah.
As we say, Aifa Romani, Federico Chiesa, really good player. Dean Owens,
Jono as well.
Jono Green.
I've also played football with Jono in real life. I played with him last week.
Yeah. Still my reserve goalkeeper. Very good.
Jan Sommer.
Yeah. So now, I don't think that I'm going to need much change.
Well, it's funny because
in this squad for 24, 25.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit like dribbling flair wouldn't go amiss, I'd say, because you've got a lot of very big names in there, but nobody of like a real tricky winger type, I would say.
Oh, do you reckon?
Well, in terms of like real life football, I can't say I'm well versed with how Dan Olsen performs as a
well, he's my number 10. I mean, he's a goal scoring number 10.
Yeah.
That was my role for Paul Pogba. Just number 10, but scoring goals from distance. And that's what Dan Olsen does. But maybe you're right. Maybe that's what we should look for.
Like a tricky
maybe we can think about this.
Yeah, suggest us some players to sign on our socials. If you're not following us, we're at A Game of No Halves everywhere.
Yes.
We also put video podcasts on YouTube as well, so please go and subscribe there if you'd like to. The name I'm going to throw into the hat is Frimpong for me.
Okay.
Jeremy Frimpong's going to be my shout for you to sign in the summer.
Okay. How expensive do you think it's going to be? Very expensive. Not that I've got 270
I tell you what, we
million.
can probably look up his transfer value.
Just do that, and then we'll have a think about the makeup of the squad. I don't think there's anybody I really want to let go.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I think this is a really good-looking squad now.
Yeah.
And my real, the real discovery of this season has been Musiala.
Yeah, brilliant player.
And he's only 20 years old.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
He's fantastic for me. Yeah.
So Frimpong, according to Transfermarkt, is worth 50 million in today's market. Okay. So I'd say that's a decent shout.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty young. How old is he actually? 23.
Yeah.
Dutch, but Ghanaian heritage as well.
Yes.
Sort of I'd say right midfielder, but you could play him as a wing back if you needed to as well.
Okay.
I really like the look of him when I saw him.
Well, so if you've got suggestions as to your favourite players that can improve what is, quite frankly, an amazing squad, then let us know.
Yeah, this is fun actually. On socials, right now, if you're watching this on Instagram or TikTok, in the comments of this video, leave suggestions for Bob to sign in the summer, because we've got a whole summer transfer window ahead of us, Bob.
Yes, we have. And I've got a lovely wodgy
you got a kitty
of 270 million. So
so suggest us some players to sign in the comments of this. And looking forward to hearing your suggestions. I guess that must
all the best with Saudi Arabia.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm trying.
And all the things you're doing this week.
God knows. Yeah. I'm on. Let's think. I've got Netherlands, France, Saudi.
Yeah.
London over the next sort of 5 or 6 days.
Yes.
Lots of film photos being taken.
Yes.
And hopefully it all goes all right, but we'll reconvene.
And I'll be off to do my gigs, and we'll be reconvening here this time next week.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening and for watching. Remember to subscribe and rate us 5 stars if you're enjoying the podcast. And also, like I said, if you follow us across socials at A Game of No Halves, that would be epic. Any last words for the audience before we go, Bob?
Just have a good think about your favourite players, who we should sign for the team, for the squad for next season in the summer transfer window, and let us know on the socials.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing those. Thanks, as always, for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Farewell.
Bye-bye.